Hello, and today we'll be talking about Disenchanted. Now, I'm so sorry this movie review is so late. I actually saw this movie last Friday when it premiered on Disney Plus, so we're going to discuss what I think on the movie as well. I felt pretty good on Friday, but once the weekend came, I was here and I went downwards. So I felt really off during the weekend. And also, I was going to record this yesterday, but I felt really off as well because this cold is not going anywhere. Sorry, still got a raspy voice. But yes, but besides that, we're going to talk about Disenchanted. Now, I took this opportunity to watch it again to prepare, what was I going to say about the movie, because I was thinking, how do I sum this up? So I was thinking to myself, how do I sum it up? And I've seen a couple of movie reviews of this already. I would say Disenchanted. Now, first of all, I'm not a huge fan of the first Enchanted movie. I did watch that movie to prepare for the sequel, of course. It was cute. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. You're probably thinking, but why? It's good. Like, yes, it's good, but it's not one of my favorite movies, I don't mind it. I didn't dislike it. I just liked it. I'm like, I kind of liked it, that kind of thing. So in this movie, there's a lot to unpack with this movie. Without giving too many spoilers away, you've got references from Cinderella, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Snow White. There's lots of references that you're gonna miss. So yes, so basically, we'll talk about the 2D world later on. So basically, the story is Giselle, she's living a happily ever after, shall they say. She's figuring out what the world is still, she has a family now, she has a baby now as well. And, she's just trying to, I guess, sort of kind of find where her family belongs as well, which kind of makes sense. So that's why they moved to Monroeville. I thought it was the whole family's idea to move, but it was her idea because she didn't think New York was her happily ever after, even though the first movie did a really good job of representing New York in a way, so I thought that was kind of cool. So yeah, so they head to Monroeville, and then Giselle gets an Envelation wishing wand as well, so that's how the wish kind of gets sort of granted by Giselle as well. And from the previews they've set up, like you see some of the previews of the movie, there was a one called Love Power, and it was 1 minute long. It kind of showed the whole movie in just one shot. Like, what are you doing, Disney? I mean, seriously, you're going to spoil this movie as well? So that was interesting. We get to see a bit of a taste of Idina's Menzel's sort of their love power. I don't know why. Kind of means love is power or love and power. It doesn't make any sense with just love power, But yes, like I said, I didn't mind this movie. I liked it, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite movie. And I was telling my mum yesterday that I gave it a score 10 out of 6. And that's pretty rare for me to say that because, I love every movie. But this one, it was good. I really liked it. Cute movie, but it's not one of my top favorite movies I've seen so far this year. So anyway, so she makes a wish and she dreams a fairy tale life. And apparently, with these Disney movies, there comes a curse. When it comes to wishes, there's always a curse involved. And she's turning into a wicked stepmother. Now, I liked how they used Giselle as a wicked stepmother because she is a stepmother to Morgan, of course. And, their relationship is not involved, but kind of explored as well. So that was a very interesting touch. Because when you see Disney fairy tales, kids probably gonna think this way. When you have a step parent, they always, assume that they're wicked stepmother because Disney has made that thing where you have a stepmother who's always wicked. So I kind of like that touch a lot. And, like I said, lots of references in this movie that you're gonna miss as well. And the songs are really great in here too. I liked Idina Menzel's number. People were saying, how come she didn't get a first number in the first movie as well? So her song was pretty, I really liked the song in this movie. I'm not a huge Idina Menzel fan, but, I respect her vocal range as well. And, when we go to the 2D world, I love seeing 2D animation. I kind of missed that. When I saw the 2D world of it all, I went, wow, that is amazing. I did not notice, but fun fact, did you know that Disney didn't do the animation for the 2D. I'm like, what? Because Disney, when you go back when Snow White was made, that was all in 2D. So you expect Disney to do 2D, but they kind of got rid of their 2D animation and they asked someone to do the animation for them. So Enchanted, when you see the 2D animation in that movie and in this movie, it's by a completely different company, which is insane because Disney's famous for their 2D. And, people say they wish 2D was back. I kind of feel the same because, 2D was just something different. And Disney perfected it and the animation form, 2D kind of goes in that form as well when you think about it. But yeah. But yes, like I said, good movie. Not my favorite movie, but it's a good movie. So yeah, also, like I said, they discover the stepmother. This is the mother-daughter relationship, which I love because I watch this with my mom and oh yeah, I love mother-daughter relationship stories. I think they're just, especially this one, because I think it tackles if you're in a family if you have a stepmother or stepsister, and it's just, it's just another word of saying, they're not really blood related. And Morgan kind of feels out of place because she's not the daughter of Giselle, and she kind of feels misplaced out of that. And that's why, she says something really bad to Giselle because Giselle takes it personally later on, like stepmother, as well. So yeah, so I kind of like that. I kind of how they explored that as well with those two characters. And she says at the end, Morgan, you are my daughter. It doesn't matter if you're blood related or not. I talked about this in my autism talks a while ago. So you don't have to be blood related to make a family. You create your own family, and that's what Giselle has done with Morgan as well. So I thought that was really cool. So Maya Rudolph was also in this movie. She was really good, but I would say, Maya Rudolph was very funny, and it's just to say that it didn't show her quirky chops here, because she's really funny, like a really hilarious, funny lady. But she plays a really tasteful villain, may I say. She reminds me of, Once Upon a Time, and when I first watched it, I'm like, why does this movie remind me of Once Upon a Time so much? It's because one of the writers was on who wrote Once Upon a Time, and I'm like, so that's why. So I kind of remember me of Once Upon a Time with, Giselle, being Snow White, and, Regina being the evil queen, kind of got that sense. And you've got Morgan, who's kind of like an Emma Swan person deal, just not believing in fairy tales. So it all kind of wraps up together. But like I said, love the songs in this movie, really good. I will say this, for a movie, I wish there was more Edward and Nancy, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of Idina Menzel, but, you would think for a film, because the first movie balanced Giselle and Roberts Happily Ever After, and also Nancy and Edward's Happily Ever After as well, when they got married in the 2D form. So I wish they would focus more on both parties instead of one. I think they made Robert and Giselle the focus, and more Nancy and Edward not really the supporting characters like they were in the first movie, because they got their Happily Ever After as well. I wish that was explored. I would like to see more Adelasia. Like I said, reaction, we do, but it's all destroyed. I'm like, what's the point? As well. But I'd like to see more Edward and Nancy, because I think we saw them in a cut. We saw them, not nearly the ending, but we saw them when Morgan went into 2D world, but we didn't see enough of them. I just wish we got more of that. And Idina Menzel in animation form is, me and my mum me and my mum were just like, that's funny, because Idina Menzel looks like that. I liked how they got all the features of Idina Menzel so perfectly right. So yes, so even though this movie is fairy tale madness all over, it still has some plot holes. They had Malvina, this Maya Rudolph's character, she's from Adelasia. I thought she was from Adelasia as well, the villain from Adelasia. I thought she was that, but they never discussed, how she knew about Adelasia. And I think she knew kind of Giselle, so I wish I explored that. But, the opening scene and ending scene are so cute. I liked when Pip was telling the story to his children and they reenact it, and then it was sort of like a bedtime story, it's like, once upon a time, and then you go into this world, kind of like that, and then at the end, it's like, the end, So I kind of liked it was like a fairy tale, story, and you read it to your kids. I think a lot of parents can relate to that. So that's my movie on Disenchanted. What do you think of the movie? Have you seen it? It's on Disney Plus, streaming right now. And also it's a 2-hour movie, so get comfortable because it's going to be a while, guys. So make sure to subscribe to our channel to get more videos, guys, every day.